Aloha, folks! Welcome to part 5 of Scott Pilgrim, and now we're going to be moving on to the 5th and 6th Evil Exes of the game. Yes, we're taking on 2 Evil Exes in this part. Go figure. Anywho, folks, I'm going once again increasing my stats with Smashing Turnips and Winifred Haley, and because I actually over-leveled myself thanks to Roxy's defeat, or to my defeat at Roxy, I should say, I'm actually a little bit stronger and better, and I got a lot of money from Roxy's level twice over, and let's just say my stats are a little bit better. That's right, folks, Ramona dated twins. She dated Kyle and Ken Katayanagi. The Katayanagi Twins are our rivals for this level, and to the left of me was a door with stars on it, and if it had stars on it, you can guess it was a subspace highway. However, I'm not going in the subspace highway because it's a very, very, very short cut to the end of this section, and I'd rather show off the foes, the enemies, why not? Is that a Pink Floyd poster in the background? And a Clint Eastwood puppet? Either way. In the background is a sign, Robot and Pilgrim. We're going to be finding out what's up with that sign later in this level, but it is a reference to the books. Again, I love my references to the books. I just wanted to point out that this game is heavily drawing on the books, you know. There are movie references in the game, but boy, are they showing off their love for the graphic novel. And there's me grinding Lisa Miller for some reason. I was showing off the sign. That's what I was doing. It says the level is actually... The level we went to is called Halloween Party, but actually in the novel, this is Julie Powers' Mexican Day of the Dead party. Scott Pilgrim inadvertently thinks it's a Halloween party because everyone's dressed up, but when he asks Julie about it, she tells him, no, no, no. This is the Mexican Day of the Dead party. That's what it is. This blue-haired guy next to Scott right now, when I first played this game, and I don't want to spoil my references already, I have a reference video coming up, but when I first saw that guy, I thought it was supposed to be Gomon from The Legend of Mystical Ninja. A game I LP'd, I mentioned it before, and I was like, holy shit, Gomon's in this game. It wasn't until later when I realized, oh wait, he's actually the main character of Clash at Demon Head. Like I said before, the Clash at Demon Head band, they got their name from an old NES video game that actually exists. And if you look up Clash at Demon Head, the main character sure looks like that guy with the blue hair. He's not actually in the novel, he's not in the movie, he's just there in the game as a background character. The main character of Clash at Demon Head, folks, that was him. And now you know. So the enemies are your typical fare. They're basically the same emos, but this time they have skulls for masks. The same fat guys, but now they're wearing pumpkins on their heads. You know, it's the same typical enemies we've seen all game, so you don't really have too much to worry about. But, you know, now they're all dressed up for the occasion. It's swell. The rolling objects that go through the stage are really easy to dodge, because all you have to do is hide in the crowd and they don't hurt you. Kind of a useless attack, I guess, or a useless obstacle, I should say, but, you know. Because Roxy Richter defeated me and I got some extra money to increase my stats even that much more, I find myself going through this level pretty easily now. See, people always said Scott Pilgrim was a hard game in, like, reviews. Like, you look up the IGN's review, and they say it's hard like an old-school video game, but honestly, all you have to do is replay a level more than once, and you're pretty much good to go. What the hell? Robot number 1, invented by the twins, is our first boss of the stage. Oh, yeah, there are many bosses in this stage, and we have to defeat him. This robot was designed by Kyle and Ken Katayanagi to fight Scott Pilgrim, and that's what the signs in the background were for. They were advertising Scott versus the robot. Scott didn't even know about it when he came to the party. Who's that guy in the background? Never mind. Anywho, folks, now we're going to be going through the fire escape. Again, the same kind of goons here. Don't have to worry too much about the, yeah. In the novels, Kyle and Ken Katayanagi invent robots to fight Scott Pilgrim on multiple occasions, and robot number 1 was actually in the novel. There was a robot number 2 who doesn't show up in the video game. And the robots themselves didn't show up in the movie either. In the movie, I think it was kind of shameful that the Katayanagi twins got, like, no backstory, no dialogue at all. Like, that's the one problem with the movie, is, like, it's 2 hours to 2.5 hours long, and they have to stretch these 7 evil X's out the whole movie. So you can imagine some of them are not going to get as much backstory as you would like, and the Katayanagi twins got the short end of the stick when it came to the movie. They literally have no dialogue, and we learn nothing about their characters. But they invent robots to fight Scott Pilgrim in the novel. Another Gideon Graves symbol where Scott is standing on the windowsill there. And for the fire escape section, you have to run really fast because some giant robot arms are trying to crush you. And they're pretty fast, actually. You need to super run and get through this as fast as you can. Honestly, it's not the biggest loss if it does crush you. You just fall to the pit and lose a sliver of health and respawn higher up. But, you know, I still gotta be pro. I can't be crushed at all. I gotta be as awesome as Scott Pilgrim is, goddammit. But now we're on the rooftops to face the second boss. And it's big. Super Fighting Robot is the second boss, and he's a little bit tougher than Robot number 1. He also has a very badass theme song, if I do say so myself. He has this one annoying attack where he shoots missiles all over the roof, and you cannot block those missiles. They do shoot in a random order. They tend to try and follow you, but, you know, all I would suggest is just running and going in circles and just keep going, you know? Keep going, and the missiles should miss you eventually. Or miss you most of the time, I should say. Super Fighting Robot was actually not in the novel. Robot number 2 is, and he's nowhere near as big as this guy. This is just a fun, super awesome boss fight for the video game. All you have to do is keep kicking the hands when they show up. They will try and smash you and ground pound you and stuff, but they're not really too much of a hassle to deal with. When one arm has been destroyed, instead of shooting missiles, the Super Fighting Robot will shoot a giant laser in the middle of the screen. All you have to do is stand to the left and the right, and you'll dodge it no problem, but still, keep in mind that when one arm is gone, he's going to start shooting a laser in the center. The arms don't have high defense, though, and you just have to do a couple basic attacks, and they should go down. And now the Katayanagi twins are running away in their saucer. Come back, you bastards! Into the Dragon's Den. This is like the one area in the whole game that's actually platforming heavy. There's a lot of spikes coming up and a lot of dodging of flamethrowers and dodging of obstacles. And Scott Pilgrim is mostly a beat-em-up for the most part, but this is like the one platform-tastic section in the game. And it's kind of, you gotta watch where you're jumping here. It's not a big issue, though. I just thought I'd mention it. But yeah, the Katayanagi twins have much more backstory in the novels, obviously, because, you know, in the movie, they're literally just a fight. You know, they don't even talk to Scott. Probably because they're Japanese, and we would figure that because they're Japanese, they don't speak English, but in the novels, they speak English. Ramona dated both of them at the same time, and was cheating on both of them with each other. And when the Katayanagi twins found out that Ramona was cheating on each other with the other, they teamed up to, you know, because of Ramona's treachery, and vowed to ruin her life forever and to make sure that she lived a miserable life. So they joined the Evil League of Evil Exes, Gideon's Evil League of Evil Exes, and now they're a force to be reckoned with. And they are both number 5 and number 6, so they are the last 2 Evil Exes until the final Evil X of the game, Gideon Graves. Though we are fighting 2 Evil X's at the same time, so one might assume we might have a very tough boss fight. So be prepared for that. I do like the Katayanagi twins in the novel, though. They have a very big thing where they're trying to convince Scott that Ramona's unfaithful and a cheater, and she will get tired of Scott, and, you know, it's always rough when you meet an ex-boyfriend or ex-whatever of a girl you're currently dating, and they don't really spread any good news about her. They try to warn you about shit. Those guys are douches. As for these enemies in the game, they're not too bad. You know, they have a little bit beefier health than every other enemy in the game, but because of their stance and the way their animation is, you can tell these guys are supposed to be the emo guys of the group, you know? Like the previous emos in level 1 and level 3, they get up immediately after you knock them down. They seem to block more than most enemies in the game, I find. The Japanese enemies, like the Asian enemies of this level and of level 7, are ridiculously good at blocking your attacks, and they will block often, believe me. They are by far the hardest goons in the game, next to the bosses themselves, of course. But having that extra level up from level 4 where I just whack people constantly with my weapon, it's so useful to have. You can deal out so much damage when you have it. It's awesome. But folks, we've made it to the Katayanagi Twins throne room, and in order to open the gate, you just have to shoot these, or attack these statues, so that they run into each other and become the Katayanagi statue. But folks, let's do it. Let's take on the Katayanagi Twins. They are rocking those organs. God damn. Also, I don't know what's up with the game. The game calls him Kevin Katayanagi, when in both movie and novel, he's Ken Katayanagi. Okay, then. So you're fighting both Katayanagi twins at the same time, and one would think this would be kind of hard, but they do kind of stick close to each other most of the fight, and if they ever go close to each other and grab hands, they're going to do a super powerful attack, which you cannot block at all. Whether they're doing the Hurricane Dragon Kick, which spins in a circle like that, or they're doing the big super punch, you want to get away from them as soon as they hold hands. When one guy is killed, the other one will try to revive him multiplayer style and bring him back from the dead. And, you know, I just let them revive each other just a bit so the fight would go on that much longer. Because they're ridiculously easy! Yeah, the Katayanagi twins, even if my stats weren't as high from the double Roxy fight, they're still pretty friggin' easy. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but yeah. The achievement, Twin Dragons, that's actually in the book. When he defeats the Katayanagi twins, he got that achievement in the book. And I had to mention that. See you in part 6. Wait a minute. That wasn't Gideon Graves. Oh, God. I'm not looking forward to part 6 anymore. Oh, see you in level 6.